What's going on, guys? I got another review for you today, and by popular demand, by a vote of 3, I have the Samsung Galaxy Buds truly wireless headphones. And let's just get right into it. So starting off, let's just go with the case. We'll start with the case and then go from there. This is actually, as far as truly wireless headphone cases go, this is one of the nicer ones. It's just real, like, rounded edges and sleek, and it's nice. And it's fairly thin, especially compared to something like the one more stylish as a quite a bit thicker case. So this is a little bit more pocketable, but for me, I don't really ever throw these in my pockets. I usually go in a bag or something, or even in a coat pocket or something. So it's not really that big a deal to me if the case is a little bit bigger. But anyways, right on front here, you may not be able to see, I'll do my best. But right on front right there is a little pinhole, and it's the charging light. So it lets you know if it's charging, or it lets you know at what status your charge is at. It turns 3 different colors: green, yellow, and red, I believe it is. I'll put something over here that'll tell you exactly what Samsung intends those colors to mean as far as battery life goes. Moving around the back, this guy charges with USB-C, thankfully, and I really don't see why any, especially truly wireless headphones, I don't see why any of them would charge with anything but USB-C. So that's, for me, that's a big deal. And then the one other feature about this case that you probably already know by now, but I'm going to hit it anyways, is it does have Qi wireless charging. So if you have a phone that supports a reverse wireless charge, or if you just have a regular wireless charger, Qi wireless charger, it will charge these up. So that is nice. I did have to use my reverse wireless charge from my Note to charge these guys up because I forgot to charge them up the night before, and it worked like a charm. No issues at all. So that's really nice. Opening the case up, it does have a fairly strong magnet that keeps it shut, which is nice. And then right about there's a little kind of click just to know that it's not really a click, but it's just it's just a little tactile thing that lets you know that the case is all the way open. And then you got your buds sitting inside there, and then there is, almost dropped them. If you watch my channel, you will know that I tend to drop these truly wireless headphones, so that probably didn't come as a shock to you, but anyways, there is a light right here that just gives you an idea of what the charge is. The only thing I don't really like about this case is, you can probably hear it if I get close enough. The earbuds, they just kind of sit in there. They're not really held in. And I don't really care for that because they kind of drop out fairly easily. And that's a pain in the butt to me. I don't like that. I don't know. It feels cheap. It does. To me, it feels cheap. The buds themselves are actually they're nice. They're nicely built. And then they have this little wing tip thing that a lot of earphones have now to help hold it in your ear. And these are interchangeable. And the little wing tip can come off. And then obviously the ear tip can also come off and be replaced. And it comes with a couple different sizes of replacements for you. As far as the comfort goes on these, now, for me, at first, they are very comfortable in the ear. I mean, and they're very easy to put in. I mean, you set it in your ear and you're good. It's not overly obnoxious. They're not huge or anything. For me, after about an hour of wearing them, especially my right ear, it starts to hurt right on the bottom here. And I really can't wear these for much longer than about an hour. If I do, my ear feels like it's gonna just fall off. So for me, about that hour point is about where I can get to wearing these. After that, it is very painful. So I just want you guys to know that my ears did experience a fair amount of pain testing these for you guys. So just throwing that out there. A couple things that I do want to hit on before I talk about sound quality. One is the battery life. In my testing, I got through about 5 hours of sitting and listening to music. And when I took them out, each bud had 35% battery left. Samsung claims that they go for about 6 hours. I would say that claim is fairly accurate. I've had these for a while, so I've gone through a few separate charges on them. So if I'm getting about 5 hours now, that should be about what you get for a little while. Obviously, the battery will degrade over time. And then with the case, Samsung claims another 7. Again, I would say that's fairly accurate. And then they do offer a quick charge. I want to say it was 15 minutes for almost 2 hours. I think it's like 1.7 hours. I charged it for about 10 minutes, and I got about an hour. One other thing, these are rated IPX2, so if you want my advice and you get these, I would say treat these like a gremlin and do not get them wet. Just don't do it. You've been warned. Moving on to my favorite part of every headphone, earphone, whatever audio review, and that's the audio quality. I can say that, well, you know what? Speaking of audio quality, this actually goes hand in hand with audio quality, to be honest with you, and I should probably get these paired up. And they start pairing once you open the case, just like the AirPods. Just probably not as quick, I don't think. But once they are paired up, hopefully I get my dumb head out of the way there. They do have these EQ settings here in the app. And if you couldn't read them, you got bass boost, soft, dynamic, clear, and treble boost. And yes, obviously this does go into the audio quality. Bass boost is absolutely freaking horrible. I hated using bass boost. I'm a bass head, I like bass, but bass boost on these just sounded horrible. I didn't like it. It was not enjoyable to me at all. Soft, it didn't really do much for me. I think it may have lowered a little bit of everything, and I don't know, it just wasn't, just not my cup of tea. Treble boost, this is a little bit different treble boost than what I think a lot of pre-built EQs do. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll boost the treble and then they'll lower the bass and the mids. And I don't think that did that on this one. I think it good God, it boosted the treble, and then it didn't do anything with the bass and the mids. And then clear it felt to me a little bit more flat than anything else. These aren't flat earbuds though, so just keep that in mind. And then dynamic, that's where I listen to them the most. That's where I felt they sounded the best. And then that's what I'll give my full audio quality review on, I suppose. So as far as the dynamic setting goes, the mids and the highs were very clear, and they were separate. The bass was actually fairly strong. I would call these a bass heavy headphone. I really would. They're not, kick you in your butt, hard hitting bass, but the bass was more forward than the mids and the highs were. The highs and the mids, they still had their clarity and they were still present. It's a bass heavy headphone. These are not flat by any means. If you are a bass head, I think you would enjoy these. These aren't gonna surprise you, but I think you'll enjoy them for what they give you. If you don't really care for bass and you like the treble, the highs a little bit more, these may not work for you so well. You might want to try them. If you do end up getting them, you might want to try them on the treble boost EQ setting. Just be warned, it's not a big boost. Definitely doesn't get piercing at all, and it does have a nice little clarity to them. Part of the audio quality, I think, is probably the volume, and these don't get super loud. Now, I had someone on Twitter ask me if I felt that they got loud, and I did tell them that they were loud enough for me, and they are, but I probably should have clarified that I think for a lot of people they might be a little quiet. So just keep that in mind when you're getting these, because these do not have a ton of volume. I think I listen to them the majority of the time at around 85 to 90%, really close to right there. Generally, I listen to my Bluetooth headphones, earbuds, right around the 75% mark. So these are not very loud at all. So just keep that in mind. If you do like your music really loud, you might want to pass these up. because they don't get all that loud at all. They really don't. That about does it for my review of the Galaxy Buds truly wireless headphones. They're a decent headphone. They really, really are. You just got to be aware that they are bass heavy, bass forward, I guess I should say. They're not really bass heavy in my mind, but they are very bass forward. So if you keep that in mind, if you are a fan of bass, I think you'll enjoy these. Keep an eye out for Black Friday sales. Normally the price, I want to say, is about 120 to 130 bucks. If you could pick these up under 100, that's probably a good deal. I would say under 75 would be an even better deal. Under 75, you might want to just go ahead and pick these up. I will say though that at the $100 price range, there are better options in my eyes. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're set on having Galaxy Buds, or you have a Samsung device and you just want something that works really, really well with it, then the Galaxy Buds definitely aren't a bad choice. And they're not a bad choice overall. It's just I think there's some better quality earbuds out there for the price. That's my opinion. But that does it for today, guys. I will see you in the next one. If I don't see you before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey, lots of food, and make sure you have some sweet potato pie. I'm out.